glad you're here. Why don't you stand
Here? Okay.
So anywhere you want.
Oh, I didn't know. Where are we supposed to sit?
That's good.
Okay.
Come on in. Find your seat. Come on in.
We're just gonna go away.
You're right. Sorry. 1 minute.
He stands, though other beings do their part to knock him. Who is he? What is his story? What purpose does he serve when his identity is stripped away? Is he kind? Is he vile? Is he your savior? Is he your oppressor? Is there much to be seen in a face that displays so little sensation? The reaction is so light, blink and you miss it. His eyes tell a story of his ambitions and his failures, of his fears and his dreams. It speaks a truth that cannot be shielded, a truth as pure as the freshly fallen snow. His face, made of iron and steel, unimpenetrable and yet so fragile. His jaw is locked and tightened safely, securing any forms of verbal entanglements, lest they give him away. It's a game to him. Speak only when needed. If no one questions his existence, he wins. His chest, pulsing and vast, surrounds and protects the one thing he truly values that no one can see. His talisman he wears on his body. It serves a purpose, but is merely ornamental? Does it give him power? Or is the power present because he wills it so? He walks, though directions are unessential to his body. The gravel beneath his boots crackle their grating, a familiar weight in the darkness of the morning. Down the streets of his hometown, he makes his trip daily, every corner tainted with memories of years past. The joy and laughter of friends come and gone finds its home under a live oak tree in his old neighborhood. Across the street, an old field drowning in ball-throwing and projectile-catching recollections. In his sternum, his heart yearns, yet his brain stands. The absence of glee is replaced for his sole need to provide. He passes through others who offer grins and waves. He is known, he is seen. He plays his role and never deviates from it, always keeping you guessing. What does he stand for? Who does he trust? Is he extreme? Is he moderate? Will he protect you? Will he endanger you? The fabric that covers his chest reminds others where he comes from and what he represents. He is prideful. He is strong. He symbolizes a dying breed where emotion is hardened and compassion is concealed. His stance is not one of power and authority, but of safeguard and endurance. He thrives in the fight, yet doesn't search for it. The heart he carries in his chest is hardened, not darkened. The marks and ink on his body speaks his truth, but is also his biggest lie. Can I have it all? No. 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 Can I have it all? I don't know. I want it all.
Who am I when I am alone? Don't leave me when no one is near and nothing is here to be fulfilled. You need me, don't leave me. Am I freer or are the chains that hold me back fused together with my body, mind, and heart? Who am I? Am I still me? Who am I? You'll never be free. At least not from me. The memories are like a box of yarn, passed down from generation to generation, locked away till you slowly unravel each spool to lead into something new, something beautiful, something glorious. But these are not your standard spools of yarn. You'll mistake each string of thread with the thorns of a rose bush. Thread by thread, you bleed and bruise until you can no longer thread by thread. Bloody bruised, my fingers pruned, thread by thread. Tick-tock, the bandage will work just fine. Thread by thread, I worry it will become a tangled mess. Even if it leads to clarity, shall I give up the tangled mess of familiarity for the tangled mess of growth? I am left with spools and spools and spools of yarn to unravel, and I'm angry. I am angrily fighting battles inflicted on me by infected hearts and minds, and it's painful. It's never ending. I've never been one to believe that violence creates peace. Winning does not mean destroying you. Instead, let's learn to coexist, us two. If I destroy you, I destroy myself. Learn, live, coexist, and relinquish the power you hold over me. Learn, live, coexist, and relinquish the power you hold over me. Learn, live, coexist, and relinquish the power you hold over me. Learn, live, coexist, and relinquish the power you hold over me. Learn, live, coexist, and relinquish. They tease us by dangling hope in front of our weary eyes until it gets close enough just for us to touch it. But as we struggle to reach for it, that hope becomes a veil thinly draped over the darkness they attempt to force on us. For the longest time, I blamed you for that darkness. That's what they want. They want us to blame each other because they know we are both strong enough to weaken each other. But after years of fighting you, I realized your purpose is far from malicious. You follow me like a guardian angel because you do not trust the world around me. But you forget your love is so stifling. And as I grow, my garden grows thicker, my armor grows larger, my heart grows heavier. The darkness grows into a rainbow. Instead of fighting you, I will nourish you. I will accept you, and I will love you. We will unravel this yarn together. For every spool of yarn we challenge, beauty is born.
I am sitting here. I'm here. But I'm in my room. I'm under my bed and I'm hiding. I'm hiding from a monster. A monster I know too well. Every footstep it takes is full of doubt. It's full of questions. It's full of insults. It reminds me that my body doesn't belong here. And I'm scared. And I make myself as small as I can make myself. Why am I so scared? Where did this fear come from? This is not how I was raised. I remember. I was afraid. Every Sunday we'd go to my grandma's house, and there was this dog that would bark at me, my grandma's dog. And he would bark and he would target me, and I was scared. He could tell I was scared, and he terrified me. And every time they put him in a room, and I would hide behind my dad until he was away, and then I'd come out, and I'd be like, okay, now I can be in this room. But one day, my dad looks at me, I'm clinging to the back of his shirt like this, and he tells me, no, esto ya no. ¿Cómo le vas a tener miedo a ese perrito? And he tells me, I'm gonna hold my ground, and I'm gonna stand up to this dog. And this dog comes around the corner, and he's already growling, and he's snarling at me. Oh, I feel like I need to tell you, this is a miniature poodle. And I was 8, So I just want to like point out that. So anyway, he's there and he's growling at me, he's snarling, and he's coming, and I'm like, oh Jesus, this is gonna be the end. And I'm shaking, and I'm like, he's like, you're gonna hold your ground, and you're gonna show him who you are. And he runs at me, and he's coming, and I'm like, ah! And he runs in the other direction. And then he goes around the island, and he comes back around, and I stomp again, and he runs away. I did that. I wasn't scared. We ended up becoming best friends, actually. And then I'm 14, and we're working on a farm, and we're separating the cows and the bulls after mating season. We corral them in one corral, and on one end we let the bulls go, and on the other end we let the cows go. We have to separate them. And for this, I have to make myself big, so that, you know, if the bulls are coming, I make myself big, and they're like, oh no, I'm not going out that door. So I let the cows go. At the very end, there's two cows and one bull, and they're like together. And they're circling around. And there's a moment where one cow separates a little bit, and I move aside and I let her through. Then the other cow follows her lead, and she goes through. And the bull tries. And I make myself big, and I wave him down, and he turns around. But then I see his determination. He's going through that gate, and I'm in his way. And I see it, and I know immediately. And I make myself big, and I'm like, no, don't come this way, don't. And he looks at me, and he sees the fear, and he starts going. And he starts going, and I can hear the voices around me telling me, hey, get out of the way, jump, run. But it's too late. The only thing I have in my hand is this lasso. And I hear at this moment the echoes of voices of my family in the background telling me, hold your ground. And if it's in slow motion, I grab the lasso and I bring it down on his face. And he turns and he runs away. This is a 2,000-pound bull. And I stood my ground. And here I am, afraid of this beast. A beast that I've created. A beast that tells me that I don't belong here. I'm too brown. I'm too gay. I'm too fat. And it hurts. But here I am. And I suddenly can remember my grandparents and my ancestors that danced. And they're still here. They're in my heart, they're in my mind, and they're dancing and they are enjoying everything. So I'm gonna dance. I'm going to do the thing that I came here to do. Because I owe it to them.
I did some engineering in 6 years. As a janitor, but I never did that before.
Uno de ellos, yo cortaba los rines cuando jugaba.
Mi espalda me duele y I did my back, knees in my back, and that's why his left jump down. I'm getting injections in my back, and I also have knee surgery. My upper back is my lower back. I would say it's like a complete because good job. Nothing I stepped on or nothing, it was just me, porque I would get out and get out and I told for someone, having someone and become someone and use something and just use my common sense.
Nunca dejé de trabajar. So I got up, I stood up, your mom was asleep on the other sofa. I walked around a little bit and the pain started to intensify. So I kind of, grabbed her foot to wake her up. I said, hey, I'm having this pain, I don't know what it is. I said, maybe it's gas, but I'm not sure. So I took a Tylenol and an aspirin. And the Tylenol kind of, subside the pain a little bit, but not much. And then your mom started to, kind of like beat me on the back as if she was burping me. Mm-hmm. They're trying to move, see if the gas would move. So we walked around doing that for about 15, 20 minutes. And the pain wasn't getting any better. So she kept asking me what I want to do. I want to go to the hospital. I want to go. So I said, well, hey, let's go over to the fire station. Maybe they can take my blood pressure and see if something's going on. So we got the car, got ready to do that. Drove to the fire station. to go to the hospital, go to the doctor or what. So I told her, I said, well, let's go to Kaiser. Kaiser urgent care is probably about 35, 40 minutes away from my home. So we bypassed probably a minimum of 2 hospitals, so going to Kaiser urgent care.
Why Kaiser?
It's an insurance thing. Just a regular hospital, you gotta wait on Kaiser doctors to actually give the okay to work on you.
Being confined to the bed because I didn't know what was going on. And having the nurses come in and poking me, that was the worst. Every few hours they were poking me, taking blood out. All in my fingers, all in my hand, all in my elbow, the middle of my arm. That was the worst. But then they come in taking x-ray, chest x-ray. You have to sit up, and they put this big wooden board behind your back that feel like a rock. And then they take the x-ray, then they go back out. And then you have the nurse come in and to somewhat give you a bath because of the dressing, make sure that when they did the cut and the stitching, make sure you don't get infected, so they have to wash it. I'm glad God brought me through it, allowed me to see another day. It make you appreciate life. Knowing that I'm here and I could have been gone, saying live life to the fullest. Don't put off today for tomorrow. Do everything you can while you're here because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. You know, that's the word of God. You know, you don't worry about tomorrow. Worry about today.
left for the south, and you had only just settled north. I was ready to leave, but my heart was fastened to you. Home Raccoon. It's been 7 months since that fateful late night of wine and wandering. And I know your heart is wandering too. You're missing home now, without me to hold your hand. Kittung band. In between you and the sea, in between us, mountains, desert, over land and water, we cannot journey now, but you will always have a home across the water by so many names. And I will always have a home in you. Your heart aches for me across the desert, and you long to be across the water someday. Your ancestors' ashes scattered across that same ocean, bones sunk to the bottom, an auspicious request at deliverance, an ocean for them to cross into heaven, an ocean for you to cross into home, and you're so far from me, my home. Kon Kittung ban, and I am missing you. Home Raccoon.
Yes.
Slapper names. After all, we just fake it for attention. Anything real, we better not mention. Invisible illness, we live as a 6, but don't let us complicate. We're just the ghosts that our men's ate. This wasn't planned, but I'm still alive. But no thanks to you, we survive on lies. We make you our art with what's left of our hearts. So be entertained, watch us all fall apart. We're the expensive, needy kids growing up unwanted. Spiraling around town, we live life haunted. We're here to be your blame on the hard palm slapper names. After all, we just fake it for attention. Anything real, we better not mention. Invisible illness, we live as the 6, but don't let us complicate. We're just the ghosts that our minds ate. The room is spinning, but we know our lines. It's okay, I'm used to it. I promise I'm fine. We can't tell what's real, but neither can you. Called us all fake, ruined our vocab too. Can't talk about our experiences and pain, cause diversity is too much for your empty brain. We shouldn't exist, we're not allowed to die, so we live in between the middle of the line. The meds kinda work, but conformity is wellness. Kinda like how numb isn't technically an illness. You couldn't live your life stabilized. You can't try on my shoes, we don't have the same size. We're here to be your blame on the hard palm slapper names. After all, we just fake it for attention. Anything real, we better not mention. Invisible illness, we live as the 6, but don't let us complicate. We're just the ghosts that our minds ate. Every tragedy is labeled insane. Tossing around blame is your favorite game, as you uselessly call us all crazy all day. We don't shoot up schools, we point our guns the wrong way. Thankfully we only kill ourselves, cause you'd have to care if it were someone else. It seems we're the only ones that can make plans. You recognize the issues, never lend a hand. Refuse to help us and then cut our funding, and send the money to oil hunting. You love your soldiers until war makes a change, then you cast them our way, call us all deranged. We're here to be your blame on the hard palm slapper names. After all, we just fake it for attention. Anything real, we better not mention. Invisible invisible illness. We live as a 6 foot, don't let's complicate. We're just the ghosts that Armin's 8. We're just the ghosts that Armin's 8. We're just the ghosts that Armin's 8. We're just the ghosts. We're just ghosts. 2, 4, 6, 8, 8, 6, 4, 2, 2, 6, 4, 8, 8, 6, 4, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. Chester Bennington, Kurt Cobain, semicolons, white lighters, Ouija, tarot, and blame. Starving and binging, addicted emptiness. We live life stressed, never know when to quit. We're sick of playing sane. We're dying from your games. We're here to be your blame on the hard problems, slap our names. After all, we just fake it for attention. Anything real, we better not mention. Invisible illness, we live as a 6 foot. Don't let's complicate, we're just the ghosts. We're here to be your blame on the hard problems, slap our names. After all, we just fake it for attention. Anything real, we better not mention. Invisible illness, we live as a 6 foot. Don't let's complicate, we're just the ghosts that Armin's 8. We're just the ghosts that Armin's 8. We're just the ghosts that Armin's 8. We're just the ghosts. We're just ghosts.
I see you, grief. But I don't want to. You linger in the light where I know I should be. The light that is gently tapping on my shoulder, calling me in. But I don't want to jump. So cue the scrolling screens, mind-numbing movies, and the never-ending presence of people. If I just don't even have the time to pretend to see you, then there's no way I have the time to deal with you. I want the cliche out of sight, out of mind to be true, but that doesn't change the fact that you're still here. Still lingering. You want me to jump. The light wants me to jump. And before I know it, I find myself here, so overwhelmed that all I know is that I need to jump head first into the process of dealing with you. So I do. Linger, don't want, light should be. Tapping, numbing minds. You don't see that I jumped.
What about the thought that you may never
I jumped.
see them again, even in heaven?
Linger.
What about the thought
Light.
that it will never be the same again?
Don't want.
What about the thought that you may never
Be.
feel safe with them again? What about the thought that you'll never
Tapping.
be in that place again?
Tapping. Numbing minds.
You miss them, don't you? You miss that feeling,
Scrolling
don't
screens.
you? You want to feel safe, don't you? You miss that place, don't you?
Linger.
So
Linger.
why are you trying to feel
Light.
happy?
Should
Why are you trying to seek joy? Just dwell in it. Don't try and leave it.
Scrolling
It's a normal thing
screens.
for people to feel,
Light.
not
Should
joy. So
be.
be like them. Fit it in this way. Come on.
I jumped. The light wanted me to. The light wanted me to. The light wanted me to. Eventually, I find myself here, abiding in the light, or at least trying to. Here is a place of hope, a place of safety, and a place that can only be found through the good grace and gift of Jesus. But one cannot get here on their own. One cannot know joy without having known grief. In the same way, one cannot need hope without having been in a place that seemed so void of it. And now I can stand here sharing a part of this process, and not on my own. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted. He rescues those whose spirits are crushed. And now, dear brothers and sisters, we want you to know what will happen to the believers who have died, so that you will not grieve like people who have no hope. For since we believe that Jesus died and was raised to life, we also believe that when he returns, God will bring back with him the believers who have died. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and there will be no more pain, death, sorrow, or crying. All these things are gone forever. Then Jesus said, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle at heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy to bear, and the burden I give you is light.
Shelter under in case of storm or sun. Every time the hand comes up or the foot comes up to a certain level, it should come up exactly that same way the next time, 50 times out of 50. In order to do that, it takes endless training, it takes sorrow, it takes joy, and it takes infinite weariness. But those are part of the craft and part of the joy. Wind that blows, you have no place in the dance. And the body becomes a sacred garment, which is yours first, and it is your last garment. And as such, it should be treated with honor, and with joy, and with fear too, but always with blessing.
we have just a few minutes. First of all, thank you for being here. I also want to thank our incredible sound, Wade, who's up in the booth. And our incredible lights, right? Cast, who's up in the booth. We can't stay in the space too much longer, although we would ask you a question or a comment. But I did want each of the contributors, we don't refer to ourselves as teachers or students, we're only contributors to a classroom and a community and a world of ideas. I think it's really important that you hear from each of them briefly, their name, and maybe anything you'd like to say about yourself.
Oh, I didn't know we were doing that part.
Yes.
My name is Addison. I'm a composer, artist, musician. Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Alecea. I'm a graduate student here at ASU, my second year, dance and teaching studies.
I'm Oliver. I'm also a composition student and artist.
I'm Anne. I'm a sculpture, video, multimedia artist in many different forms.
I'm Dean, second year graduate student in dance with identity concentration.
I'm Colin. I'm here as a master's in choral conducting student. I'm a composer, conductor, and singer.
My name is Kara. I'm here. I'm a second year doctoral student in orchestral and opera conducting.
My name is Julio-Cesar, and I am a third year MFA dramatic writing.
I'm Lane Swenson. I am a first year MFA dance student while also being a secondary educator and spoken word artist.
And
I'm Malena Grosz. I've been involved with the DBR Lab since 2018, and I serve as the artist manager and mentor every year. So this is an honor to be a part of this project.
Each of the works you saw tonight were created and performed by each of the artists. So every note you heard, every word that was spoken, all of the incredible visuals. I'm just as shocked as you are. There were some things that didn't happen in rehearsal. And it's amazing, right? Right? Just stunning, really breathtaking. And DBR Lab, we're committed to each contributor brings in their own project, works on their own project. They get a little bit of feedback from me, but it's really peer-to-peer work. There were also instances where contributors were working with one another towards forwarding their project. These projects will then move into the spring and will be presented at National Sawdust in New York City, in Brooklyn, April 2nd of 2023. And that's a world-class performing arts venue in the heart of New York City. And as I like to say, there's no students on their stage, there are only vital artists. You dig? All right. So there's three people I do want to mention and give them the last word because it's very important. They're an important part of Arizona State University and Herberger Institute for Design of the Arts. And the arts. Wait, for the arts?
For design and the arts.
For design and the arts, thank you. And they're here tonight, and it means so much to us because they have and do extraordinary work around the world. First of all, Liz Lerman is here. Thank you for being here. Incredible dancer, choreographer, inventor. Liz, if you could tell us a few words of what you're thinking.
First of all, to all of you, thank you for letting us be with you, be in the worlds that you created for us. Your openness, your willingness to tell us things that maybe we didn't want to hear all the time, the beauty of your work, and the fact that the beauty of things being unfinished, that there's still time ahead to get to work on things. But each of you brought so much to us, and to get to dance with your ancestors for a moment, Julio-Cesar, thank you so much. To see the work, some of the dancers I've been watching, to see you hold the space like you did for us, Lane, when we were coming in. But Daniel, for you, the sound scores that were going with these folks today, you had to have a touch of us. And,
very small.
Well, I mean, I've seen a lot of concerts, and I feel like the way the sound came through everybody's work was really great. So thank each one of you. Thank you so much.
Yes. From ASU Gambage, we have two people, Michael Reed and Colleen Jennings-Rogensack from ASU Gambage. Every Broadway show you see in this town and more happens because of these two extraordinary individuals. Colleen?
Thank you. It was interesting this morning, President
Pro is having an executive meeting. I'm Vice President of Cultural Affairs and Executive Director at Damage. And we were talking about what a university brings to communities. And I thought about each of your works and the thought of how important each of your works are to the communities, plural, that we serve. And I also thought about the communities that you are in service to, artists, and how you've each stretched your cultural and artistic vocabulary. And because I have been a presenter of the performing arts for over 40 years, I thought about each of you on different stages around the world. I thought of you in small spaces, in large spaces, with audiences that are very young, audiences that are very old, audiences that are culturally different than each of you are. And I'm very proud of all of the work. This was an extraordinary evening to be here and to see the promise that you hold, to see the amazing work and dedication that you have, and the excitement of what awaits you out there. So I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And this, as Daniel said, is a community. So as you move along through your spaces, one of the things that I have always prided myself on doing is connecting you to other people, other spaces, other artists. So I hope that I will become part of your network and I can continue to watch what you do. All I have to say is thank you so very much.
Thank you again for sharing your openness, who you are really, with a room full of essentially strangers, a lot of us. I had the pleasure of being able to sit and chat with you earlier this semester, and that was fantastic to be able to hear what you were expressing about what it is that you hope to do and want to do, and what your journey is as artists and people, and then to see this. That was a fantastic sort of aesthetic and personal end cap to the conversation for me. I can only repeat some of the things Liz and Colleen said. I did also, Colleen probably envisioned a couple of the same places, but I definitely saw a few spaces at Edinburgh with some of the work I was seeing. I love the fact that there's a real curiosity and an exploration in what you're doing across genre in collaboration. I love the fact that someone who's a music major is delving into physical comedy. I mean, I think that's courageous. Comedy's hard. So that type of, that sense of courage and fearlessness came out in all of your work, and in different ways, extremely deeply personal expression that you were sharing with us, which is also an act of courage. So I'm excited for what I've seen, and I'm excited for your journeys. And again, as Colleen said, I'm here to be a connector for you, to be a part of your sounding board, your community of sounding boards in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It gives me such a pleasure to introduce. It's such a tremendous thing to have the support of everyone from the university. Dean Tepper is here, and that's extraordinary because if you know Dean Tepper, he's everywhere all at once and really has been committed to this program. He's one of the main reasons that I'm privileged to be tenured and serving at this university. And it's just a great honor to have the Dean of the Herberger Institute here watching your work. Dean Tepper.
First, as the dean is the least interesting thing in this room right now. But to think 8 years ago is probably when I first had a conversation with Daniel, and Colleen was part of our recruitment effort. We really just wanted to make something happen that maybe hadn't happened yet in the Herberger Institute, and felt pretty confident that Daniel could do that. Provide a platform for students just to take their ideas and their expression beyond. So, like, you guys have mastered conventions. Art is all about conventions, right? You've figured out your craft, how to do it well, but it's both about conventions and not about boundaries. And so tonight is really an expression that there are no boundaries when you're advancing an idea. And it's clear that you've created a space where you guys don't feel constrained. And I'll echo Michael's point about fearlessness. That was the word that, and I'm sure there's a lot of fear. No one steps out in front of people without fear. But so it's both fear and fearlessness, but fearlessness is what triumphs. And that's, it's just extraordinary. And I guess the last thing is just how special it is. Maybe the best thing about art is that it allows us to achieve levels of intimacy in public spaces that most everything else in the world kind of pulls us away from intimacy. And so your ability to kind of present yourselves, your art, your vision, in a way that allows us to feel that intimacy is a special thing, and it doesn't happen all that often, and it certainly happened tonight. So congratulations, everybody.
So, because this is a university, we have another class that needs to come in here. It's the last week of classes, so I'm going to ask that we all just quickly kind of go into the hallway. We'll meet you there. I will come out and meet you there. I apologize to the next class coming in, but we'll do this in a quick and orderly fashion.
Casey.